one and I stand on that. You and me, babe, that's black on black.
You said just flippantly your mom was a drug addict,
Mhm.
and you grew up in you were trailer
Mhm.
park. I think trailer trash is worse than honky. I'm just saying that. I think white people hate to be called that more than they. 'Cause honky, that was George Jefferson. Don't nobody care
Sure.
about being a honky. Don't
I know,
nobody.
but
Redneck's not even an insult because the neck literally turns red when the sun hits it.
sure.
I don't think that that's a problem. That's like factual. There's no word that we can call white people that is as offensive as the N word. And I've been
No.
looking. I've been trying for years, and I
Yeah, yeah. You
It's
got
so
like top
hard.
people in the lab working on it, running.
I
running
do. I have a whole
numbers and
team.
stuff, whiteboards, everything. You're scratching off options. Yeah, running the data. Yeah, good luck. I don't think you're going to find it.
Yeah,
I mean,
a
it's
lot of
just not-
focus testing just wasted.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's sometimes people that are very, very sensitive will be like, in other people on other shows or podcasts or stuff will act like they'll be like, "Am I allowed to?" They'll ask me if they're allowed to say redneck or trash or any of that stuff that I call myself, and I'm like, I don't care. Like anybody could say. Like it doesn't. None of them bother me,
Right.
And I self-identify as any and all of those things because it's like like I said, I don't want to be dishonest, but also it's part of the chip I have on my shoulder about it all anyway, too. You know what I mean? Like the fact that it doesn't make me an idiot or doesn't make me racist or whatever, so I don't like try to act like I'm not that I don't come from where I come from or anything.
But the question I wanted to know, how did you come out of it? Because most redneck trailer trash people with parents that are drug addicts end up marrying their cousins and then producing more. Like that becomes like we have whole counties in Kentucky. Like there's just and so how did you and JD Vance seem to be the only people that and he's problematic.
Yeah. No, it's funny because the thing I've always felt like me and JD were sort of like if it was like a comic book story, we were like the villain, and I'm not calling myself a hero, but the origins. We're like he's like a nemesis of mine because we like came out the same time too. I went viral and his book came out in 2016 and it was the same type. And we're like two sides of that same coin or whatever. And I know him. He came to one of my comedy shows back then and like we hung out afterwards and stuff. This is when he was still a never Trumper and shit. We used to text each other because we were both on this ride together. This before he went full blown crazy. Or I mean, I'm sure he was, but he was hiding it better at the time. And so yeah, that part's been wild. But the way I got out of it, like I was the smart kid in my town. Like I always made straight A's. And then like you mentioned, I got an MBA in college. I had graduated with a 4.0. I made a 32 on the ACT, which is what we took. Which is, it goes up to like 36. Like that's good. I got academically recruited by big colleges and all this stuff. And so I just went to college and kept going basically. But I was born with that. You know what I mean? Like if I wasn't, I'd be like some of my own cousins dead or in jail, very possibly. And I should also say I should give credit to my dad. My dad was sick for a lot of, starting when I was like a teenager. My dad was sick and ultimately died finally of cancer like 10 years ago. But as a kid growing, and we were always super poor, but my dad was like, my mom was in and out of jail and wasn't around because she was strung out. My dad was like super, super loving and supportive and all that. We just didn't have a lot, but like he supported us fully and was like a great dad in every other way. So between that and just being born kind of smart enough to go to college and get away from there, those two things is how I did it. But I mean, most people don't get out of those types of situations. I mean, it's true. I'm definitely an exception.
I recently saw this, I think it was a TikTok where educators were asked to guess the GPA of people. Mm-hmm. So it was a young black man with, I think he had little twists or whatever, and he had on a hoodie, and they thought his GPA was 2.2 and it was 3.8. And then it was a white girl, blonde, blue-eyed, and they thought her GPA was 4.0 and it was like 2.2. And I was wondering, like, you being smart, I feel like there are a lot of smart kids in bad neighborhoods with parents that have issues that don't ever get to be seen as smart.
Yeah. Well, see, I mean, I was in this, like I said, you got to think about where I was at. That like kids you're talking about, maybe they're in like a city or something. So they're in like a school district that's bad. I'm not saying my school was great, but it's like, it's just a bunch of like little redneck white trash kids or whatever. And I was a smart one among them. And so, and then as far as like the colleges and stuff that, recruited me, it was just based on like scores and whatnot. But maybe also if I was a black kid from there, I would have never heard anything from any of them. I don't know, yeah, because I always said the standard was just so much like different and lower. I didn't understand any of that. Like at the time I left my hometown, like I legitimately believed that I was like Goodwill Hunting, like an actual like child prodigy, like a genius, like a literal genius. That's what I thought, because I'd been like pretty much told that my whole life by my teachers and everybody, that I was so much smarter than everybody else. But A, the bar was lower, and B, I wasn't actually all that much smarter than them. So I had to grapple with all that in my 20s, which was fun. But, now I know I just know some big words, and that's about it.
Well, if y'all want to know more about this man, Round Here and Over Yonder, a front porch travel guide to two progressive hillbillies. He has co-authored that book with Corey Ryan Forrester, which looks like the Reverse Green Book. I'm thinking this.
That's funny. I never thought about that way, but yeah, no, we're both, I'm a stand-up comedian primarily. Corey is the guy that's toured with me a lot. We've been around the country. He's similar to me. He's from a small, country ass southern town. He's super liberal, all that. So like we've been friends for a long time. We toured all over the country together, and then got the deal to write this travel book based on that. And then they sent us to the UK for the first time. So that's like the third part of the book, is like to hillbillies go across the pond for the first time.
Did y'all film this? Because it seems like it would be fun.
I know you're right. We should. Yeah. No. Well,
done, you got Eva Longoria out there. What was the guy? The one that died by suicide.
Bourdain, Anthony Bourdain.
Bourdain, yeah, Anthony Bourdain type. With the.
So is he like? Is Anthony Bourdain? Is he like white famous? You know what I mean? Is he the opposite?
No, black people love Anthony Bourdain.
Okay, all right, okay. Well, I didn't know because you couldn't remember his name. Because I was going to say like,
listen, anybody that travel to eat ethnic foods.
Oh yeah, right, yeah, okay.
Anybody that travel to eat ethnic foods, we know them.
Yeah, we are foodies. I feel like culturally black people are foodies, because we made chitlins, by the way.
Yeah,
I know.
Chitlins.
I feel like if you are constantly on the search of tasty, delicious food, you will find your way to black people at some point. And that's how I think Anthony Bourdain, kind of became down.
Southern cuisine is just soul food, which is all just black people came up with all of it, right? Now some of our white mammas can make some killer ass cornbread and collard greens and stuff too, but like
I've had it.
But it originates.
It's a reason it hurt so many people when Paula Deen got canceled. It was like, no, you one of the few that got it,
right? Yeah, right. Yes, exactly. But no, there's a place in Hoover, Alabama, because I play the Stardome Comedy Club there, and there's a place right by the hotel I always stay at. Right across from it, there's a place called Jake's Caribbean Soul Food. And the first time I went there and I saw it, I just saw it and was like, that sounds good. I walked over there and I walked in, and they were packed, and I was the only white person in there. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh yeah, this is about to be fire.
Love it.
Right? And now I go back every year. Every time I go there, get the Caribbean tour or something like that. It's got oxtails and jerk chicken and some curry chicken. It's
hello.
Yeah, it's great. Shout out to them. Anybody in that area?
Shout out to Jake's.
Shout out to Jake's.
That too could cure racism. I would be mad too if all I had was raisins in my potato salad and boiled. That would make me really angry. Y'all, that's the problem.